Hey, deserving listeners, a lot of you have been asking me to go back in time and watch Nicole and Azan on 90 Day Fiancé. So let's watch the show and see if I have anything of interest to say. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor. I'm a couples therapist, and so I often have a lot of things to say about these sorts of shows, so let's get to it.
Okay, شكرا أخويا. Okay, let's go.
When I go to hug you, don't tell me no. Yeah. Like, I can understand things, okay, but you cannot just stop me from anything. And I'm not gonna, like, touch you up and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but you can hug me if you want to.
Okay, so I'll hug you.
Yeah, it's okay, so you can.
So don't push me away. So don't push me away.
I didn't.
So the first thing I'll say is Nicole and Azan seem like extremely sweet people. They seem just like very nice individuals. Now, I'm guessing that things go wrong between the two of them. Otherwise, you guys out there wouldn't have asked me to watch this couple. But so far, I'm just seeing a lot of sweet, nice, accommodating behavior. Now, this is their first fight that they've been in, where for Azan, he's saying to her in previous conversations, if we're caught kissing or sleeping in the same room in a hotel or public displays of affection, particularly since we're not married, I might have a criminal charge, and then I'm not going to be able to get my visa to go to the United States, which is my whole thing right now. It's unclear as to whether or not Azan is wanting to go to the United States because he just wants to go to the U.S. or he wants to be with her or both. I'm guessing we'll find out. There's different levels of public display of affection, let's just say. Then this is just my cultural ranking, and everyone will have a different ranking. So we have at the bottom rank, we have like holding hands. A step up from that, putting your hand on someone's back. Another step up from there might be a hug and then a release. Another step up from that might be full-on, front-to-front, slow hugging in public, if you know what I'm saying, where it looks like you're about to make out or something. And for Nicole, that's what she did. She wasn't just hugging. She was going in for one of those like caressing hugs. And he was saying no. Everyone can have their own preferences around public display of affection. I'm guessing even in Morocco, I don't know. But in Seattle and my culture, you know, there's various different styles. Some people it's like no PDA and sometimes lots of PDA. And some people are grossed out by watching PDA. And some people who do PDA are like, screw you, we love each other, you don't have to watch us. So there's a lot of different ideas, and there's no pathology around that. There's nothing to label. It's just different preferences. One of the things, though, that I'm beginning to detect, because right now she is getting angry, which makes sense given that she was rejected on a hug. And she seems to be very infatuated with him and very in love with him. She wants to stare into his eyes. Sort of that naive wonderfulness that you feel when you're younger and you first fall in love. You can certainly have that naive wonderfulness when you're older, absolutely. But it's particularly present or common for younger people when they're falling in love to just have that kind of all-encompassing, all good, optimistic, everything revolves around my new romantic partner kind of love. She's having that kind of love, nothing wrong with that. He seems to be not having that kind of behavior. Maybe he's been saying he really loves her, and he seems to be in this relationship because he loves her. But he's not doing that eye contact, lots of caressing. She just wants to touch him and touch him and touch him. So I'm not going to pathologize any of that. I'm guessing we'll get more data later on. But there is a little bit of a yellow flag for Nicole. She seems to be giving off this vibe where maybe when she was younger, she learned that in order to get love and attention from one of her parents or both of her parents or whoever was taking care of her, that she had to chase them and that she had to be very, very sweet and very accommodating to them. And they might have been kind of busy or rejecting or just like, yeah, I don't have time for this right now, whatever it was. And she learned there's a Y in the road there. It's like, well, I can either avoid or I can chase. I can either say I give up on relationships, I give up on my parents, or I'm just going to chase them all the time. And so she has a bit of a vibe where she might have learned that she had to chase. And one of the ways that you chase is, very hands-on and, notice me, I need you. And there's a thirst because you're frequently being pushed away, maybe even physically. That might be being triggered in this moment for her, the traumas, and pushed away of just like, I need physical, warmth. I need reassurance that you're physically there for me. That's a very normal thing when you're 0 to 5 years old and beyond, but particularly when you're young, right? So if you have that general neglect and rejection, then something may have been triggered in her in this moment, something deep of, it's not just that I don't want PDA and I'm worried about not getting my visa and going to the United States. For her, it might feel deeper than that. And maybe it is deeper than that. Maybe he doesn't love her as much as he claims he does. I don't know. But let's see if we get more data along these lines.
I'm the kind of woman who likes physical affirmation, hugs and kisses and even little weird cute things. Just physical stuff. It's reassuring that, he does love me and that,
So there it is. She's saying it's reassuring. So there are many different functions for affection, physical affection, and public display of affection. One is you just feel love and you just have the normal human desire to reach out and touch your partner. Or you're trying to comfort your partner. You're trying to make your partner feel better or feel loved or something like that. Another function of physical warmth is it reassures us that the person is there. It's physical evidence that the person is available to you, is there for you, is a human body, and it just feels very reassuring. Totally normal. However, it's interesting that she highlighted that because maybe she needs particular reassurance given her traumas in the past. Again, who knows? I'm guessing you all have seen this whole story, so you know whether or not I'm on base or off base. So I feel a little at a disadvantage, but let's find out what happened.
Sucks we have to be in 2 different rooms.
Yeah, but we have to. So let's just be patient, okay?
Hasn't.
No, please.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's okay. Okay?
Promise.
Yeah, I promise. Everything's okay. So have a good night. Okay? So have a good night.
So I don't have enough data to know either way, but this could just be normal pain and crying around not being able to have contact with the person that you love so much. And there could be conflictual feelings for her. On one hand, she could be like, well, I guess I understand where he's coming from. But another part of her might be like, well, I wish he would take the risk for our love because I want him to show that he really loves me. And this divide, whether it's from him or the law or the culture, it just makes me feel like I'm not getting enough of him. And it scares me because I wonder if he doesn't really love me because I'm not really feeling it in my bones right now. So it makes total sense. I don't know if it's that or if this is touching on some kind of trauma for her and it's reminding her of some kind of rejection that she's been through so that she is having all those past reactions present in the moment. We'll see what happens.
My heart knows that he loves me. But I think he has a hard time showing it.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. She seems like such a sweet person, and to see anyone suffering for whatever reason, whether it's past traumas or just normal love, infatuation that's being frustrated, it breaks my heart. Well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle. That's the first installment in which we follow Nicole and Azan. Tune in next time when we continue with their story.